Tonight we're going to be talking about those ridiculous Golden Globe nominations. And so we got nominations from 2 voting bodies last week. So let's tackle the first one. Let's tackle the SAG Awards first, which in some ways is as stupefying as the Globes.
More.
And let's talk about just the standouts in these categories. Emily Blunt, never part of the conversation. She's nominated for actress.
Mm-hmm. That is crazy. That is the craziest nomination.
Before that film screened, that was a possibility. So, I mean, after the film...
Yeah, before it screened.
Yeah, before people saw it.
Yes, exactly.
I guess because she's playing a drunk. I mean, she's a beautiful woman and she's playing a drunk. Is that?
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
and it looks like it's unavoidable that Meryl Streep is in the conversation for Florence Foster Jenkins.
Oh, God, please.
Yeah, I mean.
And I now that I see it and now that it's happened, I can easily see them, nominating her for at the Oscars. I mean, it's
even. And
Meryl if they do that, they're going to have to nominate. If they do that, they're going to have to nominate Hugh Grant too. So,
well, he's nominated here, in a supporting role. So, I mean,
for the SAGs, yeah. But even Meryl Streep is like, quit nominating me for everything I do. I mean, I think she's tired of
it. Yeah, I bet she is. I bet it's got to be like sort of an embarrassment. But a true embarrassment is, I mean, like in the female actor category. We do have Emma Stone and Natalie Portman, who we were expecting, but no Annette Bening, which is a crime.
Yeah.
No Isabelle Huppert, which I don't know if even Isabelle Huppert is part of the SAG. If she's got a SAG card, but I would assume she does. However, they don't really go for foreign picks very often, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But
you know what?
Adams,
I think Meryl Streep should send Sacheen Littlefeather in her place to attend these ceremonies.
That would be. Oh God! Here's another one that just kills me. Okay, so best actor. Well, we've got Ryan Gosling, a lot of the people that we're expecting. Casey Affleck for Manchester, Denzel Washington for Fences, Ryan Gosling for La La Land. Those are no surprises. Andrew Garfield gets in for Hacksaw Ridge and not for Silence. So it looks like Silence is going to be left to the wayside during this
I think it's
Oscar.
screened too late. I think that's the problem. I think it's for
a lot of people haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, but even when it comes time to Oscar time, when people probably will have had a large chance to see it, I bet it won't do that well, really. I think it'll probably get some technical nominations, and that's it. But the real horror is Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, which I watched this weekend, and I consider to be one of the worst movies of the year.
Oh, I disagree very strongly. With that. He deserves to be there. I mean, really. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm shocked that they even remember it from the summer, but that's a very good movie.
I hated it.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I really adored that movie.
It's so overly sentimental, and I think it hates those people. I think it's a movie that hates this type of person, this person that's trying to give a kind of an extreme liberal education to the kids, and so the movie's reason d'etre is to try and show him up as a fool. When a lot of the stuff that he's teaching the kids is actually pretty good stuff.
Well, yeah,
the only problem is he's putting them in danger. That's all.
He's putting them in danger, but I didn't think it. I thought it was a very. I didn't think it made him. I didn't think it was making fun of him. I didn't think that at all. I didn't think it made fun. I thought it was a very bold movie because you're not going to get a movie like that to play in theaters generally. And if anything, he reminds me of in the Paul Theroux novel, and then they made it into a movie with Harrison Ford, The Mosquito Coast. He's very much in the vein of Harrison Ford's character in The Mosquito Coast. To be the only thing I could even think cinematically to even pinpoint it in. But no, I thought that's a very unique movie. I actually thought it was one of the bright spots. That's another movie I keep forgetting to mention that is just a wonderful film. Absolutely wonderful. I thought it was the compromise at the end. I thought was very worthwhile. But no, I thought it was a very well made movie. Very well done. I think he certainly deserves to be here. He's probably one of the most unique and interesting actors that we have. So and very honest.
Well, I will say that he's the best thing about it. Let me put it that way. I'll say that much. But I did not respond to the kids. I didn't think the kids were very good actors, and just the whole story, and the direction, and the horrible song score that is just incessant with irritating stuff. Everything from bagpipes to horrible electronic music to just and a terrible scene with them singing a song and yuck. I hated it.
I was kind of jealous of the movie because I've tried to figure out how do you do that? How do you make that into a movie? Because it's to me the movie is almost like paradise in one sense. There's just something very liberating about the movie and the characters, but it's just something I was really jealous because I've been trying to figure out how do you make that into a movie, and they did it. So I was like, in some ways, very jealous while watching it. But no, it's
you like it because it comes from a book that you thought was unfilmable, and
no, it doesn't come from a book. No, I didn't. No. I'm just talking about from how do you do that. No. The story, the lifestyle they live, that he lived. This is a man who has
but you're jealous of the lifestyle? Is that a lifestyle that you would like to have?
I've never been able to figure out how to do that in a contemporary setting. How do you make that? How do you pull that off? That environment in a contemporary 21st century. Back in my case, late 20th century, but 21st century lifestyle. I was very jealous because the Viggo Mortensen character was sort of like, at least for me,
what we aspire to be, at least me, that poet, warrior, who does he remind you of? Actually, besides Harrison Ford, who does he remind you of, cinematically?
Who is he?
Well, to me, he was kind of a monster, but...
Well, but who does he remind you of?
Frankenstein?
No, Kurt.
He is Colonel Kurtz, that... a much more peaceful version of Colonel Kurtz, but imagine if Kurtz if Marlon Brando had not shown up overweight to the set and was basically the magic of lighting, and movement and everything. But he's very much like a suburban, if you would, Colonel Kurtz. And that's always been to me.
Okay, Golden Globe nominations. By the way,
wait, we didn't. We. Are there any other things in the SAG Awards?
No, look, everything else is television. And we already know your point of contention with Captain Fantastic, so you don't agree with their Best Ensemble nomination for that film.
Yeah, okay.
I must say, though, I'm just looking at, this is the first time I've looked at the SAG nominations. I was happy to see them put The Crown, give that some love, with John Lithgow and Claire Foy.
Yeah, Lithgow's getting a lot of love for Winston Churchill in that movie.
Yeah. So I like seeing that.
By the way, I think it's amazing how the Mosquito Coast dealt with this theme before social media. Like it had the presence of mind to see that this was a concern. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Well, Mosquito Coast is a much better film.
Yeah, no, it's a much better film. But by the way, a far superior book. He's a fascinating character. Mosquito Coast is like one of my favorite books, but this is a guy who's really just fed up with all of humanity. really.
Yeah.
And the way,
I would,
yeah.
Golden Globe nominations. So we're going to discuss, the merits of the nominees and choose what we think will win, and if it differs, what we think should win. What should, what will. Okay. Let's start with Best Original Song. Can't Stop Feeling from Trolls, a Justin Timberlake thing, right?
Yeah.
City of Stars from La La Land. Faith from the movie Sing. A song called Gold from the movie Gold. Which, by the way, Gold, I'd like to see it. It's another, I guess it's another movie that's just gotten lost, or it's come out too late, or what have you, but it's another kind of performance from Matthew McConaughey where he gained all this weight and shaved his head, and it's another one of those kind of performances that I think would get attention. But and finally, how far I'll go from is it
Moana? Yeah. Moana. That's probably what will win because it's Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's the toast of the world now with Hamilton and everything. So that's probably what's going to win. And he comes from, I don't know, I guess City of Stars from La La Land is also a major player, so I could be wrong on that. Can't Stop the Feeling, of course, is Justin Timberlake, so that has that going for it. Faith from Sing is co-written by Stevie Wonder, and Gold is co-written by Iggy Pop, of all people.
Yeah, wow.
so that's pretty crazy. But I'm going to go with with Moana.
Well, at least you know that come Oscar time, there'll be some interesting performances of these songs. I mean, there's songs with energy in them that if they get the original performers, it could be, good performance numbers. For some
yeah,
reason.
I mean, I fully expect the Justin Timberlake and the La La Land, and I don't think that Singing Gold will make the cut eventually. I really believe that song from Rules Don't Apply, the title song from that, is going to get nominated when it comes time for the Oscars. But
well, we'll get something. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think City of Stars will win.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, I just think a musical and a really good, it should get. I mean, it's one of its strengths. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. Although they do love Disney, so I you know what, I honestly don't know.
Best Original Score. Score for Moonlight from Nicholas Bertel. Justin Hurwitz's score for La La Land. Johan Johansson. I want Schwarzenegger to read. I want Schwarzenegger to read this category. Johan Johansson. I just want to hear him say it. For Arrival, Dustin O'Halloran and
Hauschka.
For Lion, which Lion's getting a lot of love.
Yes, it is.
Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and Benjamin Wallfish for Hidden Figures. This is original score.
Mm-hmm.
And it was announced last week that Johan Johansson, I just love saying it, for Arrival, he is ineligible for an Academy Award nomination.
And what I mean, I guess their reasoning for that was the use of that piece of music at the beginning and the end that everybody loves, I guess, and has been in a few other movies, and so I guess there wasn't enough original material for them. But that was kind of a surprise because I thought the movie was packed with original material. And I don't even know that piece of music that. Whatever it's called, famous piece of modern classical music that I'm not familiar with. But, well, with this, I guess it's going to go to La La Land.
Yeah, although I am kind of, I would like to see Jackie on here, but maybe for the Oscars. But,
yeah,
I was kind of, sad not to see that on here. But yeah,
I mean, you got Lion and Hidden Figures, which are surprising nominations in this category for me.
And honestly, Moonlight is a head scratcher for me because I cannot remember one piece of music from that movie.
I didn't know there was. I got to be honest. I don't remember the music at all.
I thought it was. If there was music in that, it totally escaped me.
Likewise. I mean, among other
I thought
things
it was a
movie,
completely silent movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't remember any music in the movie. None.
I think it'll be La La Land too. I'd like to see Nocturnal Animals nominated because I do think that's a good Bernard Herrmann type score. Yeah.
My favorite scores came from sort of obscure movies this year. Things like Little Men and Love and Friendship, and of course Love and Friendship was mostly classical music. So,
yeah, it was a good score. It was a good score though.
Yeah.
Okay. Best Motion Picture Foreign Language. Divines Divines from France.
Mm-hmm.
Elle from France. Neruda. What is that?
Neruda.
Okay. Salesman.
Wow, that's his.
From
wow.
Iran and France. Man, France is like cleaning up.
Yeah, I got three on here.
Tony Erdmann from Germany, which is out of all these the most acclaimed. The one that's ended up on the most top 10 lists.
Mm-hmm. For me, I'm just going by. The Globes can be very unpredictable. I'm going to go with The Salesman from Asghar Farhadi. I have a feeling that Tony Erdmann, is as acclaimed as it is not going to connect with a lot of people. A lot of people find the movie, because it's 3 hours long, and they find the movie rather irritating. But The Salesman is getting a lot of the same kind of notices that A Separation got, and if it's anything like A Separation, it'll probably be very dramatic, and I'm just going with that. So.
This is a tough one, because Tony Erdmann has the most acclaim, but you got to figure Elle. I think Elle is Elle the official film for the Oscars for France?
It will not. It will not be nominated.
Yes,
they might get that here though. Then maybe. I mean, I honestly don't know.
If there's an argument for Elle winning, I think the best argument is the fact that it didn't make the short list to be nominated for an Oscar, and there's outrage over that. So they might give it to it here.
Yeah, that's true.
Elle is 3 hours long.
They fuck up foreign film, 3 hours. They fuck up documentary at the Oscars with more regularity than usual.
Yeah.
Sorry, I used the F word so much there.
That's all right. That's right.
Okay, best animated motion picture: Moana. My Life as a Zucchini. That's the story of my penis. Zootopia, and Kubo and the Two Strings.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with Zootopia on this one.
Right.
I think out of all of them.
I think Zootopia, although if it was just for me, I would give it to Kubo and the Two Strings. But I think Zootopia is the far and away the favorite. I am surprised Finding Dory is not on this list.
That just wasn't embraced.
No, it was not. It's not a bad movie, by the way, but it just wasn't. But I am kind of. I am stunned, and Sing, even though Sing has not come out yet, it's going to be on there.
Yeah, I mean, I expect, for the Oscars, they're going to go with Red Turtle over Sing, and but who knows? This is My Life as a Zucchini, which is eligible for the foreign film nomination. It comes from Switzerland, so there could be 2 nominations for My Life as a Zucchini.
Actually, I mean, since this is the foreign press. Wouldn't best foreign film? Shouldn't American movies be up for foreign film too? for a lot of the voters, their American movies are foreign films, right? Or am I wrong?
This is true.
Anyway,
I don't know what the foreign press is. I mean, I don't know if they're foreign press people or if they are American people who are or international people who are assigned to the foreign press.
I have no idea. And by the way, neither do many of the nominees. I mean, they even meet these people, and they always comment on how you're an interesting group, meaning, I don't know who the hell you are. I don't know. I guess Zootopia will take it. By the way, did you guys watch that Hollywood Reporter roundtable with the animators? And and the animators from most of these films, I think, except for My Life as a Zucchini, were represented. And then there was Seth Rogen sitting in the middle of them, and he was like, what the hell am I doing? it was interesting.
The sausage party was not is not part of the. Not that I expect to be part of the conversation, but it is completely just left out. I mean,
thank God.
But
worst movie of the year.
Seth Rogen actually contributed a lot to that conversation, and he knew. He was very, very articulate about what he was trying to do with Sausage Party and the testing process, and how he tested various phases of it, and all the animators were nodding in agreement. The lifers in the animation all knew where he was coming from, so he didn't embarrass himself with that roundtable. Best Screenplay Motion Picture. Damien Chazelle for La La Land. That's a paper-thin screenplay. Tom Ford for Nocturnal Animals. That's odd. That's not going to be in the finals for Oscars. Barry Jenkins for Moonlight. Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea. And Taylor Sheridan for Hell or High Water. Taylor Sheridan, who was an ex-actor who hated acting, so he turned to screenwriting.
Well, it's going to be between Barry Jenkins and Kenneth Lonergan, but it's probably going to go to Barry Jenkins for Moonlight.
Barry Jenkins, really?
I just think it's the zeitgeist. I don't think that it has anything to do with the quality of the screenplay. I just feel like there's. I mean, that's the only thing that I can attribute the entire love of Moonlight to is the zeitgeist. It's like, it's black and it's gay, and we got to show love for those two groups. So I think that's what it's all about.
I see where Dean is coming from, and he's right. There is going to be this push for Moonlight. Especially, God, how do I say this? Because I think in place of Moonlight, it might have very well been Birth of a Nation. I'm just saying
it's true.
And given, I do think people are going to use this film not so much for the merits of the film, but just to make a statement. And I think that's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
So if Moonlight doesn't get Oscar nominations, which of course it will, but say it doesn't, will the next year they be mounting an Oscar So Straight campaign?
Maybe. I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely going to happen.
I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. I mean,
the only problem is
universally agreed. The Oscars are pretty much the gayest affair every year. Just in terms of their pageantry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with the only problem with a lot of gay-themed movies is that a lot of them are really terrible. I mean,
he's right.
And even gay people will tell you, boy, I wish gay people could make better movies. I mean, because they are just, I'm sorry to say, but like when 90% of the time they're just like, ugh, they're awful. But occasionally we get something like Blue is the Warmest Color or something like that, or Carol.
lesbians are cool.
Yeah, lesbians are great. I mean,
lesbians are better. Yes, they end up being better movies than.
I mean, isn't it also that Barry Jenkins is straight though?
I don't know what his sexual orientation is.
No, I think he may be straight. So
get down to the bottom of that.
So you just take that into consideration. I mean, that
I
didn't
see that as a double punch.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I really didn't. Best Director, Motion Picture: Damien Chazelle, La La Land; Tom Ford, Nocturnal Animals. By the way, I'd really like to see Nocturnal Animals. I still haven't had a chance yet.
It's a good movie. Good movie. Good.
Mel Gibson, Hacksaw Ridge. Barry Jenkins, Moonlight; Kenneth Lonergan, Manchester by the Sea. Well, it's very telling that writer-director pairings this year. It's the auteurs at work, really.
Yes, pretty much all of them except for Gibson.
That picture of Mel on the website is just.
Yeah.
I'm at the Golden Globes with that. Those eyes, that smile. I mean.
Yeah, it really does look like he's saying, "How you doing, sugar tits?" In that photo.
Well, this is probably going to go to Damien Chazelle. Let's face it. I still think that even though La La Land is being touted now as maybe kind of an underdog, which I think is just part of its scheme to win, because no one likes an overdog to win,
right?
Throughout this long season. So I think they're downplaying their possibilities, and but I still think that he's probably in the prime spot to win.
Doesn't it look like in that photo? I guess you guys are looking on the same page I am. I mean, Kenneth Lonergan looks like a writer. He looks like he's never smiled a moment in his life. Look at that.
I wouldn't either if my Margaret was handled the way it was.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that Mel Gibson was nominated just because this is the Hollywood Foreign Press, or do you think he really has a shot at making the top 5 for Oscars?
It's a tough call because I think he's made like a very tight film and everything, but I don't know. I don't know. If he made it, that would be incredible. It would be the story of the nominations, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. I think he'll win the Globe. I'm going to go with him in this category.
Wow. Okay.
Best performance by an actor. Oh, you want me to defend that choice?
You don't need to. It's a valid. I mean, it's a valid choice.
The Globes, and they love the
Globes,
stars,
and they bring up Mel Gibson every single year, and they love the comeback, and that whole thing. I mean, the Globes awarded. I can't think of the instances, but the underdogs like. Did Mickey Rourke win the Globe, or did Sean Penn?
I think he did. Actually,
yeah,
he did win.
Yeah, so
I
that's
think
one
you're
example
right,
of how they go with the underdogs, because that's a good PR. It's a good story.
Yeah.
Best performance by an actor in a supporting role. Oh God, my screen is cracked. So.
Okay.
Mahershala Ali. Moonlight. Jeff Bridges, Hell or High Water. Simon Helberg, good God, for Florence Foster Jenkins. Just looking at the picture of him, I punch me in the face.
Who did they pay? How much did they pay the Hollywood Foreign Press to get Florence Foster Jenkins in here? I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Come on.
It's a perfect lightweight movie for them. Especially since they've split it off into comedy and and drama, so we knew that Florence Foster Jenkins was going to get some Globe nominations for sure.
I mean, but this is ridiculous, though.
But Simon Helberg is kind of a surprise in some ways because, a lot of people who saw the movie commented on him being, and his is really truly the supporting performance of the movie. A lot of people are trying to put Hugh Grant as the supporting, but he is the co-lead. I mean, he has more screen time than Meryl Streep has. So, but Simon Helberg, who plays the piano player that accompanies Streep, is was a performance that charmed a lot of people, and I guess he's okay in it. I hated the movie though, but
it's not for everybody.
Okay, also nominated in that category: Dev Patel for Lion and Aaron Taylor Johnson for Nocturnal Animals.
That was a surprise.
That's the big surprise. I mean, because it's an interesting performance. But has anyone else seen the movie? Here? Okay.
No,
right,
but
I can't talk about it then because it's just such
he's a bad guy in it, right? He's the villain.
Yes. But I guess that's I mean, it's an interest. It's not. I mean, I'm not against the choice. It's just an interesting choice. I mean. I
was surprised that most everybody was surprised that it wasn't Michael Shannon instead of.
Yeah, I mean that's the one you think of.
So, here it's going to be Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, and he's going to win the Oscar too.
Oh yeah. I mean that's yeah.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actress: Naomie Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion. God, I guess I got to see Lion now.
It has to open. I mean,
Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea, and Viola Davis for Fences. I saw a clip from Fences. And, I think we're all agreed. Viola Davis, it's hers to lose. It's pretty locked in.
Yeah.
But is there something going on, it's a little disturbing seeing the amount of snot that Viola Davis produces.
Yeah, I was going to say that, man, yeah.
I don't know about that choice. I really...
Because, I know that it spells pure raw emotion, stuff like that, but... You have to take into account, it's there in doubt. I mean, it's very pronounced in that crying scene in doubt. And it was astonishing then. And I understand that, you can't necessarily help how your internal, fluids work when you're actually crying. But, it feels like too much. It feels like too, I don't know how to say it. I sound like an asshole when I say it feels too showy. Because that's just the way she cries. I mean, it's rivers of snot coming out of her face.
I haven't even seen the movie yet, and I just know I won't be able to keep a straight face when I see it now. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you so much.
It's just not something that you definitely need to see in a crying scene. It's, where's the snot? I have a problem with that too. Because I know that in my face, even if I was crying a lot, I'd be wiping the snot off. I'd be like, I got to get rid of the snot on my face. So I wouldn't just leave it there for the show.
Yeah, I'm sure she thinks it's very dramatic, but it's not.
It's just not something I want to see, and I also don't want to see people pissing and shitting in movies.
It's not.
Well, that's what they're doing. Kings of the Road, Wim Wenders, and shit all the time in that movie. But I agree, Dean. I agree with that. So I hate that where they feel like, especially women going to the bathroom, talking to someone, and they're I hate that. You needed this in the movie, really?
I'm into that though.
I don't really.
Okay. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Colin Farrell for The Lobster. Ryan Gosling for La La Land. Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Jenkins. Jonah Hill for War Dogs. Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool. You know, prior to last week, I'm telling you, I would say, what the hell is Ryan Reynolds doing there? But Ryan Reynolds actually has a good shot in this category for the Globes.
Well, he is the movie. I mean, it's his movie. I mean, he is that it's like a movie that relies on him. So I don't have a problem with it. This is actually a category though. There was an overabundance. I thought you could have gotten a dual nomination for Ryan Gosling for this and The Nice Guys, and would it have been so bad to throw in Russell Crowe for The Nice Guys? I mean, if we're going this route, I don't have a problem with even Jonah Hill, but there are so many performances that you could throw into this category. It's a throwaway category because of the Oscars. It doesn't have this category. So,
yeah. Well, okay. Normally I would say La La Land, Ryan Gosling, but I don't think that his performance is lauded as much as. I don't really think it's necessarily his movie. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe Ryan Reynolds is the winner here because
here's why I say this. Because last week he was given the annual kind of special achievement award at the Critics' Choice. He won this category that he was nominated in at the Critics' Choice. He got his Hollywood Walk of Fame star, and there's all kinds of stories circulating about how Deadpool was a labor of love, and he spent so many years developing it.
Right.
So I think for this category, for this award show, he has the best chance of getting it. Actually,
it's not a bad choice.
I think you're right. I mean, looking at the things, it's not going to be this guy. It's not going to be that guy. They're not going to give it to Colin Farrell or Jonah Hill or Hugh Grant. So I think you're right.
I don't know what Hugh Grant. I really don't know who they paid off for that movie, but they obviously paid off someone.
I'm just glad that they nominated him in the lead category because it is.
Well, that's true. Yes, no, but I know. But going back to Ryan Reynolds, I mean, he is the movie. I mean, the movie revolves around his character when he's not in it. I don't know if there's a scene where he's not in it, but
no, there isn't.
Yeah, so he needs to be. So yeah, I have no problem with that. I really have no problem with that.
Okay, best performance by an actress in a motion picture, musical or comedy. Annette Bening, 20th Century Women. Lily Collins, Rules Don't Apply. Haley Steinfeld, The Edge of 17. Hang on. Okay. Emma Stone in La La Land. And Meryl Streep in Florence Foster Jenkins.
Well, this one is going to go, unless they decide to do Annette Bening, which would be great. This one's going to go to Emma Stone. So,
yeah,
pretty clear, I think.
And, I mean,
if they give it to Meryl Streep for the 50th time, there will be part of me that will not be surprised. Because it's the Globes.
It's just oh God. I mean, you have four. I have to honestly say, even though I haven't seen 20th Century Women, you have four better performances there. I'm not sure about Lily Collins, but I mean, certainly Emma Stone or Haley Steinfeld. I mean, if you're really going to give it to Meryl Streep, that's just saying basically we've given up. You just have to show up basically.
We've given up. That's what it is. But I have to say, I'm happy that Lily Collins got in for Rules Don't Apply. I think she's quite charming in the movie, and I don't.
By the way, I want to say something here, because and this all ties in together. Because when I posted like a couple of Pacino soundtracks that I own on my Facebook last week, because I don't take selfies, I take pictures of the records I own. So
they're your children.
And they were Godfather and Serpico, and I think somebody was trying to be a smartass, and he was saying Bobby Deerfield, author, all the Pacino bombs.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I'd love to own all three of those. And I try not to do this. I try not to vilify or belittle an actor because they're in a movie that is slight or doesn't work. just because the movie doesn't work, there's so many moving parts of a movie, so many people that determine the final outcome of that movie. Just because it doesn't work doesn't mean that the actor didn't do their job. And then I was listening to, after all, Pacino did not direct Bobby Deerfield. He didn't write it, he didn't direct it, he didn't edit it, he didn't do any of that. So I was listening to an interview with Ron Howard, and he was talking about working with Robert De Niro on Backdraft. And he said, I learned more from De Niro than anyone, because I was aware that this was not a terribly memorable role for De Niro, and I'm sure he was too. But he said De Niro requested an extra week to prepare for it. He interviewed 3 fire arson investigators, and he said, and it was amazing because he took the posture of one investigator, the cadence of another, and he took something else from the third one, and he completed his kind of portrait of that man for that character in that movie. And you watch the movie, and you're not aware of that, nor should you be, but he actually did his work in that movie. As an actor, he did what he was supposed to do.
Oh, I think he does that for a lot.
I think there's a tendency to belittle the creative process or an actor because they're in a movie that's kind of less than. But they still put in the effort, and I think this is such a snobby kind of elitist. What movies have you made, dude? I mean, seriously. I hate it. It's just good.
So what reminded you of this, though?
Meryl Streep. If Meryl Streep wins or if she's nominated, don't hate on her for it. She didn't nominate herself, and this part might have actually been very challenging for Meryl Streep. I mean, she might have been scared. That's what I'm saying. I'm positive that it was difficult because Meryl Streep can really sing. So the difficulty comes in doing everything the opposite way for Florence Foster Jenkins. And I'm not saying that you guys do that. I'm just saying in general. Yeah. I know that the basic feeling will be to shit all over Meryl Streep if she gets a nomination. Oh yeah. And I think we should work against that.
Yes. It's not a movie I like, and by the way, I'm interested in Florence Foster Jenkins as a person, and so when I've read about her before the movie came out, long before the movie came out, and I always thought, this would make an interesting film, but it's just for me, the movie is just too lightweight for me, but she did a fine job.
Best performance by an actor in a motion picture drama: Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea; Joel Edgerton for Loving; Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge; Viggo Mortensen for Fantastic; and Denzel Washington for Fences. So I'll say this, Dean, or I'll ask you this. I mean, this is a SAG and a Golden Globe. So do you think he's a serious possibility?
He's locked in, I think. But I think it's going to be Affleck. I think it's going to be Affleck, Garfield, Mortensen, Washington, and Gosling. I think Loving's going to be totally forgotten, I think, this year. So, but unfortunately, because it's a low, very, very, very low key movie. So yeah, I think those are going to be the nominations. I'm going with Casey Affleck. I'm going with him, even with the they're trying to drum up the controversy with his past and everything, and trying to equate it with what happened with Nate Parker and Birth of a Nation. But I don't think that's going to stick. So. I'm sticking with Casey.
Yeah, Casey's the one to go with. I mean, definitely. I mean, he's the one that's the performance to beat this year. So. Yeah.
Best performance by an actress in a drama, I go with Casey Affleck too.
Yeah,
not
definitely.
For actress, but for the category we just talked about. Amy Adams for Arrival. Jessica Chastain for Miss Sloane. That movie really came and went, didn't it?
Well, I mean, it's released this weekend. It released on 2,000 screens, and it made it made like just a little over $2 million. So
it had an
wow. I
$89
mean, it came
screen
out,
average on Friday.
It came out 2 weeks ago in my little town of Lakeland, Florida, and it disappeared in a week. So I didn't think it. I mean, we don't get any movies first here, and it came out 2 weeks ago here. Isabel, who care for Elle? No, that was the Dennis Quaid, Meg Ryan. That was actually a remake of the 1940s.
Yes, thank you.
By the way, DOA, the Dennis Quaid, maybe my favorite movie poster of all time.
What? It's just them kissing, isn't it?
No. No, the original. That's the video. The original one sheet is like him with his arms spread out on the face of a clock.
Oh,
I love that image. Isabel Huppert for Elle. Ruth Negga for Levin. And Natalie Portman for Jackie.
Oh, let's see here. I'm going with Natalie Portman.
I'd go with Natalie Portman too in this.
In terms of Oscars, is this who it's going to be, or is possibly Jessica Chastain going to be out of the running, or what?
Oh, she's out. I mean, it's going to be. Oh, I guess Amy Adams is going to make it in. They're just going to forget all about 20th century women. So, which is a real shame.
They might not, though. They might not. It depends. I mean, we shouldn't. I mean, they could. I'll be very honest. I think Jessica Chastain may get out, and they'll put in Annette Bening.
I think so too.
Well,
I think so too.
Well, I mean, Ruth Negga is not going to make it because we got to make room for Emma Stone. So,
And who might get? Who might not be in here? Isabel. Isabel might not make it. I mean, and if that's the case, then we got issues. But because she's long overdue. I mean, just long overdue.
It's ridiculous. But they're going to screw it up somehow. But I still think, I'm sticking with Natalie Portman.
Yeah, me too. Best motion picture, musical or comedy? Manchester by the... Just kidding. 20th Century Woman, Deadpool, Florence Foster Jenkins, La La Land, and Sing Street. Sing Street.
That's a really nice surprise. I mean, that's a good movie, so it's really nice to see that there.
Yeah, that's a very happy surprise, and it should have been nominated for Best Song too because it's got a lot of nice songs in it.
Yeah, I mean,
but maybe that'll happen at the Oscars.
I don't get it. When they have the songs, you have a plethora of movies with good songs in them. What they do pick, I'm just like just astounded by sometimes. But
it's always the animated movies that take over that category. But well, obviously La La Land's going to win this. I mean, no question about it. So.
Yeah, I mean I think that's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Best Motion Picture Drama. Hell or High Water, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight, and Hacksaw Ridge. First of all, let me ask you this. Will Hacksaw Ridge get Oscar love in a category of, usually it averages out to about 8 nominees for Oscars for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen the movie, but it just doesn't really strike me as a thing that's going to be there in the final run. I think it'll get a few nominations, technical, but sound and maybe makeup or something. But I don't see it. But all the rest of these have a good shot, and I guess Lion, has some heat behind it. But really, it's between Manchester and Moonlight, and again, I'm just going to go with Moonlight simply because what I've already said. But I do think Moonlight has been determined to be an adapted screenplay for Oscar consideration. So that means that Manchester and Moonlight will not be going up against each other. So there you go. You have your two screenplay winners right
Right.
there.
I think you're absolutely right.